Robinson getting some coaching tips from the grandkid. Here after Northwestern. Coach came in. On paper, it looked like it could be pretty tight in places. Looks like they had a couple forfeits, kind of took the wind out of the duel a little bit. But in terms of how your guys wrestled tonight, what were you most pleased with?
I think a couple matches, Dardanes and Schiller's are both, because they hung in there. It was close at the beginning, but they kept that intensity on, and the thing that we want them to do, and they're in their face all the time, and they just basically wore them down, and we felt good about that.
Now, what'd you have to say to Nick Dardanes after last week's loss? It caused things to go different ways for you guys, and then come out and get behind again. But what'd you say to Nick between last match and this match?
Well, I think the same thing that we say to everybody. It's like in Nick's situation that sometimes that stuff happens. It's it's one of those things that you say it a lot, but better now than at the national tournament. And so it just helps you with your focus. It helps everybody. And so, we wrestled 5-5, but with Oklahoma State with a couple guys out. But at the same time, being the #1 team, we got to find a way to win. We didn't do that. So you learn more from losing than you do from winning. So it'll be good for us overall.
Scott Schiller came out, beat a ranked opponent, probably one of the better guys he's wrestled this year. What were you happy from him with?
Well, I think the thing what Scott's doing is he's keeping pressure on, and in that first flurry, he could have easily given up that takedown, but he fought through it, and he just kept that pressure on him, came back, and just wore him down, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to wrestle in that third period, and like I said, Nick and Scott both did a great job of doing that.
And finally, David Thorne at 125 back in the lineup after missing the Oklahoma State duel. 1-0 with the riding time point. What do you think the difference in the match was? Experience or just grit?
Well, I think it was a little bit of both. I think David's coming off. He was sick last week, and I don't think he's right back to where he wants to be. And he actually wants to do some extra stuff here in the next couple of weeks before Christmas, which I think will be good for him. And a lot of it has to do with when he feels he's on, that makes a big difference to him. So he needs a little bit of extra work to get himself there, just confidence-wise, and I think that he'll be fine in a week or so.
Any adjustments you guys got to make for Oregon State tomorrow?
We got to realize that with all the things that went on tonight, there's a snowstorm, and the crowd was late in the starting, and then there's a couple forfeits. A little bit of adversity and a different thing, in that the kind of match is just kind of going on, and it's kind of hard to get really psyched up for it. It's like everything's kind of in a state of flux, and I told the guys, I said, this is what you got to do, is you got to be able to get yourself and go from 0 to 100 when you got to. So it was a good adversity deal in a different kind of way than most people look at it.